from the original show.
Was it Grok or whatever his name was?
Oh, I don't remember if it was Grok.
The one Kirk fought.
Yeah, the aliens sent him to the planet to fight this guy.
Yes, I know exactly who you're talking about.
He's got a T-Rex head and
he's
kind of a humanoid
reptilian.
body. Yeah.
He's not semi-reptilian. That guy was full-on reptilian.
Okay, let's Doctor Who it again then.
Okay.
You know, let's see, the woman who has the girlfriend and they
Yeah, and they're in London. Yes, I know exactly.
Her race, they're semi-reptilian.
They're reptilian.
No, they are humanoid. They're like humans, right? Their bodies are humans. But
they stand upright on two legs
with
two arms, and they speak.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make them humanoid. They're still a reptile. They're reptilian.
Well, actually, you can be reptilian without even being a reptile.
Okay, let's just leave this alone.
Yeah.
Because this is an argument that will take a long time and go nowhere.
Agreed. And we'll do a whole episode on it.
Please, no.
Anyway, I don't think this guy is a very credible witness.
You don't want to talk anymore? No.
So you don't think the overseer is the grinning men?
No.
Notice I said men, not man.
Yeah.
Did you say, so they abducted him? What did they do with him?
Lots of
probing.
Experiments and probing.
Oh, okay.
Like 20
a lot of probing questions. So what were you doing last Thursday at 7 p.m.?
Yeah.
At the bar?
Yeah.
What's the average airspeed of a European swallow?
How many drugs have you taken tonight, sir?
And were any of them mushroom shaped?
Really?
As in little white and green mushrooms.
Well, does anybody have any theories?
I actually do. We're there.
Woo!
There's not a lot of them.
There's not a lot left.
There's not a lot left.
Sorry, I took a weed whacker to this.
Yeah. So the theories are, as per Devin usual, in bullet point form. One is that he could be an alien. Or
aliens.
Could be an alien species. Right? I guess the proof of this, or the theory would go that the Grinning Man sightings are by and large in conjunction with UFO sightings, except not all the time.
And not really.
Not really.
There's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're distance, not difference, but the distances.
But also difference.
True.
Not always.
I wonder if perhaps the Grinning Man is actually a number of different human beings from far, far in our future who are traveling back in time.
And don't know how to be like normal human beings by our standard.
Yeah, exactly.
Have you watched Fringe?
No.
Have you watched Fringe?
No.
Okay, they have the observers.
Spoilers.
Who...
Oh, yeah, don't tell me.
The show was already over, years ago.
I'm planning on watching it.
Okay, well, I'm not going to spoil anything. There's these guys who always walk around in a black suit with a white shirt and a black tie and wear a fedora.
Men in black.
And they're white and they have absolutely no hair on their entire bodies and they know what's coming.
Yeah, they're meant to be men in black.
So that is, it could be like that. But they're from the future.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see.
So could be that what Joe's suggesting is right. They're just ding-dongs from the future just mucking about.
I mean, I think it's fair, right? If we were to travel back, even 1,000 years in human history, right? Our social conventions would seem super weird to anybody.
And we would seem super tall to everybody.
We would seem... Well, I wouldn't, but you guys would.
Actually, you would. 1,000 years ago?
You're right, 1,000 years ago.
Now, 100 years ago, no. You're out of luck.
I'd be totally normal size.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I mean, I guess that's... I'm sure I didn't have that, but I guess we'll add it right now. Time traveler. Well, it kind of falls into the next theory. It's that he's a Men in Black, right? He's a man in black. He's part of the Men in Black.
A mannish thing in black?
Mannish thing in black? Well, because the theory could... I mean, some proponents of the Men in Black theory think it's just like normal human men.
Mistaken for, aliens.
Or, well, no, I mean, the part of it is that kind of the what the movie's about, that they're just
the Will Smith
characters,
agents. Yeah,
right. But then the other part
Jones.
Of that is that in the future or whatever.
So what? Yeah, that's my thing. Is that there's the whole the movie genre is they're hiding the aliens, but if they're aliens, what are they hiding? Do you know what I mean? Is it
nothing necessarily?
Yeah, it's like maybe it's just that their fashion sense is antiquated and we don't know what they're up to. I'm curious. I never understood it.
Well,
Like, what's the deal with the Men in Black if what was in the movie wasn't right? And I know what in the movie wasn't real.
it's fiction.
It wasn't?
Well, if they were aliens, it would be that they were working in collusion with the government to hide the more drastic aliens from the world.
Or maybe hunt down and capture or kill these more drastic aliens.
Yeah, because they could pass as human, kind of.
Yeah, imagine that'd be kind of an interesting thing if it ever came out that that's true. That there's a bunch of aliens that are here on Earth just tracking down the criminals who have escaped to Earth.
That's a very long episode in and of itself.
Well, the easy answer though is, either of you ever watched that movie Critters?
No.
It's an old 80s horror movie. Critters, they're little hairy round guys. They were like, medicine ball sized and hairy, but they had nothing but teeth and they ate constantly. Well, the bounty hunters who chased them were shape changers. And so they would find a local and, quote unquote, scan and then change themselves to look like that.
Oh, interesting.
So it could be that kind of situation is the one scan they have in their system that's considered passable on this planet happens to have a stupidly huge grin and a black suit.
Yeah, exactly.
Could be.
Or they're trying to, pass as friendly and normal, and they're like, well, people smile when they're friendly and normal, so we're just going to smile really
These people are so dumb, we totally blend in. Don't have to say anything. They just look at you and keep going. Quickly.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true. I'm sure.
Absolutely true, yeah. Next theory is that he's the Mothman.
Could be. Just wearing a different
Sidekick.
outfit.
I go with Mothman sidekick.
I do.
if I'm
I
gonna go
like
with
that.
this.
Or Wrangler,
Yeah.
right?
Mothman Wrangler.
Mothman Wrangler. Yeah. They're like, release the Mothman, and he's like, oh, man.
I just got the souffle to rise.
I just got that kid down to sleep. Now you want me to wake him up again? Yeah. No? You don't think so?
Mothman? I don't.
I know. I lump if that's where we're going in with Mothman. Might as well just be mass hysteria.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So that's the last theory.
Yeah, the Mothman had wings and stuff, didn't he? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's the last theory is that he's just made up.
That's a possibility. I want to throw in another theory, which is that people sometimes put on costumes.
What?
Yeah, they get a mask, and they get outrageous
It's a
clothes.
troll.
Could be.
I added to the list of like made up subheading like sleep deprivation, mass hysteria sort of thing, because I think it's true. Every single sighting that you've heard has either been like kids who are already freaked out about something scary and they saw a tall guy who was smiling at them and they were like, no.
So you're talking about that one family who supposedly also encountered the grinning man? Is that
No,
where
I was
you're
talking
going?
about Jimmy and James and Marvin.
Oh, because
Right.
there's
'Cause
another.
they ran pretty
Because there's
quick.
the other story about the family who has all the weird extraterrestrial stuff in their
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, that was. I don't know. It was, but the only thing that was like grinning man kind of specific to that story was that the daughter woke up one night and there was a huge man towering over her bed.
Yes.
And she's like 4 or 5, so all adults are towering and some weirdos in her house.
And she didn't necessarily say that he was wearing a green iridescent suit
Or
or had an
smiling
unnaturally
giant.
wide
Yeah.
grin. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's,
Yeah. No, that one I didn't even include because I found it to be so weak.
Well, yeah, but if you look at the websites that talk about the grinning man, that one is almost always included.
Well, that's because there's not very much good stuff about the.
When you're trying to make a
Yeah.
4-page article so you have enough ads on your website,
Yeah.
you will pull
You'll
anything.
pull it, yeah.
Yeah.
The Woodrow, sleep deprived.
Yep.
The Night Watchman, probably sleep deprived.
And on drugs.
And honestly, not to like cast aspersions, but Blue Tidal, sleep deprived.
Yeah?
By his own admission, he walked because he couldn't sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Little insomnia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little freak out. Somebody probably drunk, and your brain interpreting it as like being malicious. On the other hand, it could just be a jerk.
It could have been, somebody having a little fun with him.
In all of these cases too, right? It could have just been somebody having fun.
My personal theory is that this whole thing is John Keel's fault. And he started a trend, which these things always happen, is one guy publishes something and suddenly everybody sees it. It's, when you buy that one car and suddenly you see that car everywhere on the road. It's
You
the
don't
same
have that
thing.
problem, but yeah.
No, I don't.
But that's
But-
why, one of the interesting things about the UFO phenomenon is that nobody ever saw UFOs until the plane was invented.
That's not true.
Really?
No,
No,
there's
that's not true.
reports of
UFOs in like ancient Egypt.
and the Greeks and stuff like that.
Ancient aliens, man. Do you not watch that show?
Oh yeah, but it was never as big a thing as it is nowadays. So
Well, we weren't that interesting,
yeah, I guess.
or we weren't looking up.
We were busy doing other
We
stuff.
were looking at the ground.
We were like, oh man, this pyramid's not going to build itself. Yeah.
Crack that whip a little harder.
Yeah. No, I think it's made up. I'm sorry, guys.
No, really?
I wholeheartedly agree.
I do.
I think so.
I think some people saw what they
Some weird
believe
stuff.
to be the same character.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that what they saw and what they believe they saw is wrong, but I'm saying the origin of the story completely made up, and therefore they're operating off of skewed information.
I agree.
Yeah?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, some of these people probably don't even exist. I mean,
Yeah.
Woodrow did. I don't know about Frank,
two boys.
not Frankie, James and Marvin. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know about them.
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah.
They don't exist anymore.
Yeah.
They're not. That's the one thing. Keel never cites his sources,
He's awful at it.
so they're gone for all intents and purposes. Gone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and they're probably still alive if they actually ever existed.
That's my problem. I don't think they actually ever existed.
Yeah.
Probably not.
Well, we should wrap this up before it gets too dark because I don't really want to have to go home in the dark.
That's a good
Well,
point,
you,
yeah.
I mean, you can wrap this up as fast as you want, Devin, but you got to put all this equipment away.
No,
So you're
not gonna.
kind of hosed here.
And it's getting dark even
Okay,
as we speak.
so you probably know where you're listening to us, but if you want to read any of the links to the research, or you can also leave a comment on our website. That website is thinkingsidewayspodcast.com. Also on the website, there's links to our Patreon and a donate button for PayPal, and then also a link to buy swag, which is
merch.
pretty awesome. Sorry, merch, not swag. Swag
Yeah.
is free.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, we can't.
We don't give
Yeah.
away the podcast. The
We
podcast
do.
is swag.
Podcast is swag. You can also find us on iTunes, which you probably know by now. If you're listening to us on iTunes, please do give us a comment and a rating if you would like.
Preferably a 5-star rating.
Yeah, I don't really care.
We kind of like those.
I just ignore the 1 star, so it's fine.
I don't even read them anymore.
Yeah. You can find us on Facebook. We've got the group and the page. Find us, friend us, like us. You can find us on Twitter. We're Thinkin' Sideways. We're okay at Twitter, I guess, sometimes, every once in a while.
We do a
Yeah,
little bit of it.
we're in the RPG world. We're like a level 2
Yeah.
Twitter handle.
Maybe out of like
20.
300 possible.
Yeah.
We're gonna level up soon.
Yeah. Or you can, if you want to talk about any of this with us, you have suggestions, anything like that, send us an email, thinkingsidewayspodcast@gmail.com. I think with that, we're going to get out of here so it's not dark.
All right. Well, so long for this week, folks. And you can't tell, but I've got a huge unnatural grin on my
He
face.
does, it's really creepy.
And I'm standing outside your window.
Okay, we'll talk to you next week because I have a really weird look on my face.
It's true.
Yeah.
Okay, talk to you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Thinking Sideways.
I don't understand.
Does not compute.
You never know.
Insufficient data to formulate a reply.
Stories of things we simply don't know the answer to.
Well, hi there, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm not going to say for rejoining us. I'm just going to say joining us.
Well,
This is Thinking Sideways, the podcast. I'm Devin, and I'm joined by,
Joe.
And Steve,
as always,
as always.
we're going to, as Joe would say, solve another mystery.
Absolutely, we are.
I'm not going to solve it. I don't
You.
know. Joe, I guess, probably will. So we're going to tackle the hum. Which
We
is,
all know what that is.
Yeah, so into the theories. No. So the hum is another, apparently I'm on the like unexplained sounds bandwagon right now. I've been doing them a lot lately. I'm super sorry.
It seems to be your thing.
Yeah, right now. It was something else for a while.
Mysterious middle-aged men dying.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going
now
through another
it's-
phase.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry, everyone. I'm sorry.
all right.
I hope this isn't boring. So the hum is an unexplained noise that involves widespread reports of persistent and invasive low-frequency humming, rumbling, or like a droning kind of noise. Does that make sense?
Like an airplane might make?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
It's often described as like an idling truck, like a 18-wheeler truck idling.
I don't know. I've never heard it.
The hum. I was like, you've never heard an 18-wheeler? Where have you been living?
A basement.
Yeah,
A basement cells forever.
If you live in a basement, you still heard an 18-wheeler. Those
It's
Jake
true.
breaks you could hear from a mile away.
Yeah, man. Hums have been widely reported by lots of national media, particularly in the UK and the United States.
So it's mainly English-speaking people.
Mainly
I hear this
English-speaking
hum.
people. Yeah, I don't think that's true that hear the hum, but I think it is true that
That's where it's reported
yeah.
most.
We both, let's be honest, the UK and the United States are pretty good at reporting stupid stuff.
Yeah, it's probably
We like to
all over.
sensationalize.
It's all over Africa, and they're probably just busy trying to
Survive.
stay alive.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
hear it, but they just got better things to do than talk about the hum.
Yeah, so it's often you'll hear it referred to with the location affixed to the front of it. So
Yeah, like
like
the
the
Taos
Bristol hum, the Taos hum. And it can be really disturbing, and apparently in the UK it's directly attributed to at least 3 suicides,
Which is
which is weird.
Disturbing.
Yeah.
Seems like a strange reason to kill yourself.
Well, I think
Maybe there was other
the
stuff going on.
as far as anybody can tell, it's persistent. Like people can't sleep through it. People, it's just there. It's just hearing this hum like over and over again. It's almost like that Chinese water torture, right, with the drips, except for it's a sound in your head. I can understand how that would be obnoxious.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that.
it would get old.
Yeah, really old, really fast.
Yes.
So as I said, the hum is kind of like a truck engine idling outside of someone's house, but often people hear it more inside than outside. Like if they're hearing it inside and they go outside, it's not as prevalent.
Wait. So if I'm hearing what I attribute to be a hum, and I'm sitting in my house,
You go outside to explore, right?
Uh-huh.
But it's less loud. It's more quiet.
okay, and do they know why that is?
No.
I mean, well, I'm just thinking here. Okay, well, if I'm inside and I don't have the TV on or anything like that, there's not as much background noise. So I just wonder if background noise outside, the wind and the trees, and that kind of makes it harder for people to pinpoint.
Maybe. I mean, it's generally accepted that it's not a noise that's just coming from inside of like a bunch of different individual houses. It's accepted that, if it is something, right, that it's something outside. And so if you hear a noise outside that you hear very loudly in your house, and you walk outside, out the doors and, the walls and the insulation and things like that, even if there's more background noise, it's going to be louder because you're closer to whatever's making the noise. Does that make sense?
It does, and I guess I can follow that.
Yeah, if it's a noise with the source outside the earth. Let's say if you're inside your house, say if this was due to high frequency vibration of the earth itself, the ground there, then if you're inside your house, it's kind of like being in an echo chamber.
Yeah.
It stands to reason it would be louder inside if
Yeah.
it's from that source
Yeah.
versus outside. It's kind of the difference between shooting a gun off inside your house and outside your house. It's a lot louder inside.
Sure. Yeah. That's
I
fair.
would imagine it would be.
Yeah. I've only done that once. But
The hum is also louder at night than it is at day, in day. And it does appear to be geographically focused a little bit, as in people you can move away from it. Does that make sense?
So
You can hear it, and then
It's
if
got a
you
s-
get in your car and drive.
it's a small range.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that it's actually focused someplace, that it's actually has a source
Really?
of some kind.
So have any
Yeah.
of these people, these sufferers, the hearers, have any of them actually just taken the trouble to just try to localize it, walk towards the source of the noise?
Yeah, and often people can't. One of the things that is kind of emerging in there's this kind of big data collection effort that's happening. That's a worldwide hum data collection. It's like a Google Doc. We'll link to it.
Huge
Yeah, I
job.
saw
Huge.
that,
If
yeah.
anybody who suffers from it, anytime you have an instance, you go in and you plug in just a massive amount of information about like where you heard it, if you heard it more on your left or right, and by and large people say they hear it on their left more, and you can only follow your left for so long before So, you try and localize it, and it's just, I don't know.
Maddening, I think, is the word.
Yeah, maddening, I think, is definitely the word. Yeah.
Where people can actually get away from it, but they can't go towards it.
I guess, yeah.
Interesting.
It's one of the weird mysteries of the hum.
Mm-hmm. No time to pack up and move, I guess.
Also, only about 2% of people living in an area that's hum prone, they call it a hum prone area, can hear it. Most of them are from ages 55 to 70, which is kind of weird. That's a statistic from a study that was done in 2013 by an acoustical consultant who lives in Surrey. So that's weird.